The Marvel Universe is known for superheroes, but it's also home to some of the greatest classic monsters ever to shamble onto a comic book page. At times, these vampires, lycanthropes, and corpses even met the famous heroes of the Marvel Universe. So join us, my intrepid monster hunters, as we recount the ultimate monster mashes and revisit a few special occasions where classic monsters met classic superheroes. Classic horror monsters versus the Marvel Universe. Dracula. Dracula has been hanging around the Marvel Universe for so long that he may as well be considered for MCU Phase 5 or something. The greatest of all vampires has taken on just about everyone now that we think about it. We could, and probably will, do a whole video just on Dracula tangling with Marvel heroes like Spider-Man, the Avengers, Doctor Strange, the Defenders, the X-Men, a whole bunch of times, Thor, and even Howard the Duck. And that doesn't take into account famed vampire hunter and action movie star Blade, who made his debut in the pages of Marvel's Tomb of Dracula comic. We try not to think too hard about the version of Dracula we got in Blade Trinity, though. Nevertheless, old Drac has fared better in the pages of Marvel Comics than his frenemy, Frankenstein's monster. Back before X-Men comics were actually good, 1967's X-Men number 40 saw Marvel's Merry Mutants take on Frankenstein's monster. Sort of. You see, Professor X thought he had located Frankenstein's monster, but it turns out that the monster is actually an android, and furthermore, the android may have been built by a mutant. Holy Boris Karloff, that's convoluted. Oh, and did we mention the story also involved aliens? Just like Mary Shelley intended. And then there was that time-traveling despot and future Ant-Man 3 villain, Kang, plucked some haphazardly chosen heroes and villains from the time stream just moments before their deaths, unified them, and sent them to destroy the Avengers. This ill-fated team consisted of the original android Human Torch, Wonder Man, erstwhile Iron Man baddie The Ghost, Baron Zemo, some dude named Midnight that once fought Shang-Chi, and Frankenstein's monster. That's like creating a super team by randomly choosing Wikipedia pages. Needless to say, the Avengers didn't have a really hard time with this group of almost corpses. But hey, listen, it's a super team with Frankenstein's monster. That's just weird enough to be awesome. Although our favorite might just be when he teamed up with Spider-Man to take on the menace of Baron von Stopf.
Who?
Baron von Stopf.
Lily von Stopf!
No, we said Baron von Stopf. This one featured a bonus appearance by Man-Wolf, who is actually the son of Daily Bugle publisher J. Jonah Jameson, because comics are awesome. Oh, and speaking of werewolves, Werewolf by Night. Marvel used to publish a werewolf book called Werewolf by Night, and aside from the fact that the protagonist's name was actually Jack Russell, he's a really cool character who often crossed paths with Marvel superheroes. For example, who could forget that time when Spidey and Wolfie teamed up to take on the evil wizard Moondark? It's an epic buddy bash for the ages as... Oh, wait, no. The story pretty much consisted of Werewolf by Night showing up and Spidey punching the poor doggo into the middle of next week before defeating Moondark single-handedly. What were they supposed to do? Go for a long walk? Play fetch? Werewolf by Night even teamed up with Iron Man in 1986, when his sister gets possessed by the evil magic of Morgan Le Fay. So you have a Universal Pictures-inspired monster hero teaming up with a classic Marvel icon to take on a fatale ripped from Arthurian folklore. What's not to love about this? The Living Mummy. Yes, Marvel has a mummy to call its very own. Nkantu, the Living Mummy, was once an African king who was imprisoned and cursed to walk the earth as an unholy monstrosity. He's a heroic, if tragic, figure and has made his way around the Marvel Universe. Like that time he took on Captain America. The late great Mark Gruenwald was never one to leave any obscure character unexplored, and he found a way to incorporate the Living Mummy into the bright and shiny world of Captain America. There was something incongruously awesome about seeing a guy dressed as the American flag team up with a dude dressed like Boris Karloff's second most famous monster. Manphibian. Nope. You know what? Go watch Creature from the Black Lagoon or something. We're done here.